am Jaya.
And I'm Chris. We're a young couple that loves to travel, and we would like to share our adventures with you.
This is our first series of videos, so we would love to hear your opinions and suggestions below in the comments.
But we can promise you already, the audio and video quality is going to improve.
Good morning in Marrakesh. Well, after some adventures yesterday night, with the arrival at the hotel, we're finally here. We slept about, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours. But that's okay. And today we're gonna have a tour surroundings of Marrakesh. But first, let's find something to eat.
We went to have breakfast to the main square of Marrakesh, Yema El Fna, and we saw how the city wakes up. It was 7 a.m. and everything started in Marrakesh. We were picked up by a van with around other 12 people, and we started leaving Marrakesh to the direction of the Atlas Mountains. The tour price was 28 euros. It was a whole day trip. It included the visit of some Berber villages to see how they live, what they eat, what they drink. And we will definitely recommend this tour to anybody that is in Marrakesh and doesn't have enough time. It also included the visit of a desert, the Agafay Desert, and a camel ride.
So here, this is one of our first stops. It's a Argan Oil Cooperative. And yeah, so the basic idea is that the women who grind the argan oil also get the money from the sales, so it's a cooperation.
For food one, we roast it. 10 minutes on fire, then we grind it. That we can see brown and creamy. Unroasted, roasted. Cosmetic food, okay?
There we tasted for the first time the Berber breakfast, which includes argan oil, honey, peanut butter, Berber tea and bread, and it was delicious. Then we head off to see the cosmetic products they produce with the argan oil. It includes perfumes, soaps, creams, shampoos, among others. Here, if you buy something, you can be sure that this money goes directly to the families involved in the production of argan oil products. So we continued our scenic road to Imlil. There goes the highest peak of North Africa.
We are in Imlil, which is a really nice mountain town. As you can see here behind me, there's some beautiful mountains. In winter it's actually snowing here. Now we're going to do a 1.5 hours hike. Let's see where it gets us. The sun is out. It's a little bit fresh, so we have sweaters. And the monkey guys, not monkey guys. The donkey guys are around here, like everywhere, trying to get you to mount their donkey, but here we go. Let's see what the walk brings. All those trees they can see here, those are walnut trees. And our guide told us that basically every family that lives here has 1 or 2 somewhere in the valley.
So we hiked up the mountain and we passed some small mountain villages like this one, and we saw the beautiful handcraft like this carpets. Then we follow the water line and we end up arriving to these really nice waterfalls. Here we arrived at the top of our mountain and we could appreciate a beautiful autumn day in the Atlas Mountains. What you're hearing right now is the Islamic call to prayer, which happens 5 times a day and is made from the mosque. And then we were ready to depart to our next stop, the Agafay Desert.
Look at the view. So beautiful.
Here we took a short camel ride, which is actually a dromedar. So a dromedar ride, which was included in the tour, and we got to see for the first time dromedar behavior. And my favorite Moroccan highlight, a baby dromedar.
She's so cute, so calm. She doesn't bother about anything.
Definitely my new best friend.
How did you like your camel experience?
Can I have one?
No, you can't.
Can I have one? They're really cute. Like so super soft, and the belly like a balloon. So cute. And also all the hairs, they're really cute. I don't know who Mama is. That's a nice question. Who is Mama? Lift your hand. Nobody replies.
No idea who's Mama.
Are you Mama?
Our tour ended with the unsuccessful search for the mother, and it was time for us to go back to Marrakesh.
So we're waiting for the bus to Agadir, which is apparently a city where you can go swimming all year round, so I'm pretty stoked. Let's see if we can go for a swim in the lake, in the sea. And Gia found a new friend. Gia, shows you your new friend.
Tiny kitty.
So we have breakfast, we have tickets,
We have a cat.
and we have a cat.
Yes, everything is perfect.
We have a baby cat. Buddy, you wanna come with us?
We said goodbye to our new friend and left to Agadir. Agadir is a big city located on the Atlantic Ocean coast, so the first thing we did was to leave the things at our hotel and then go to the beach. There we used the sun, the sand and the breeze to design a travel plan for the next few days. For the next morning we decided to start a really chill morning at our hotel, and then we decided to go to the souk. Souk is a bazaar or a marketplace, and there you can find anything. It goes from fruits, from animals, clothes, handcrafts. You can spend the whole day there. In our opinion, the best souk of the whole Morocco was the souk of Agadir, because it wasn't there for the tourists, but it was there for the locals. So you can see the whole souk concept in a very authentic way. Another thing we liked about the souk is that we didn't feel harassed. So you could walk freely everywhere, and only when you had interest in a product, and the seller will show it to you and explain what he's selling, what the product is for, which other options they have. So we really liked being there. We spent a lot of hours in this souk.
Wir haben eins.
Das haben wir schon. Was ist das?
Das marokkanische Zahnseide. Zähneputzen. Kleinen Stück, so, nicht so.
Yeah, it was the first time we saw all the Moroccan natural products, and we were very excited about it. We also bought some saffron, and then later we discovered that we paid the best price in the whole Morocco for a gram of saffron. After a few hours in the souk, it was time to go to the next stop, the new Medina of Agadir.
In 1960, Agadir was completely destroyed by an earthquake, and then they rebuilt the whole city new, entirely new. And the Medina was like the old town was also destroyed, and they never rebuilt it. But what they did, they had an Italian architect design a new Medina in an old style. Unfortunately, it's a little bit outside of the city, and you have to pay entrance as a foreigner. That's why it's really deserted. It's almost like the intention was that there would be shops in the whole Medina. Well, it turns out it's really empty and only a few shops open because of the entrance fee, and it's far away from the city center. But it's still worth coming because it's really nice. It's very lonely. It's very beautifully, picturesquely built. You can take a lot of nice walks.
As we told you before, the Medina has really nice shops, and this guy is showing us the figures he's selling.
It's man, can you put it like this? Can you see half man and woman, yes? And they have motion man. Why it's funny. If you put it like this, it's sleeping man. Like this, who's shy. Like this, thinking man. And like this, happy. And like this, he's sad or cry. And like this, he's drunk. Hand upside down, yes?
And with the visit of Agadir's Medina, we end our day.
We just rented a car for the next 4 or 5 days. We are on our way to Paradise Valley, which apparently doesn't have as much water as it used to have, but we will see when we arrive. Gia is designated driver for today. Well, not for the whole, for now. And we just left Agadir and are now entering the mountains. It's apparently a really nice road, so we'll see what the day brings. We're stoked, we have some lunch. We're looking forward to some nice landscape. Any other expectations for today?
Warm water.
Warm water.
I want to
now we will see.
take a swim.
And no traffic accident.
Yes.
But people are super nice. Like people here drive really nice. So should be fine. Look how beautiful it is. I was just told that it's fairly fresh, so let's see. Oh yeah, it's fresh. Oh. It's yeah, it's cold. It's really cold. And we're gonna have a nice orange juice, which the dude over there is preparing. And then this is how it looks here. Supposedly this is what you could do further up the Cascades as well, or further up the valley. Well, now you can just do it here because they artificially put barriers in here so that they still have those little ponds.
There are two reasons for the absence of water. The first one is that it is November, which is also the dry season. That's one reason. And the second reason is the climate change. Over the years, the water has been decreasing and decreasing in this valley.
So, well, I suppose that these are all like filled pools back in the time. This one here, and probably this one down here as well. But it's entirely dry. It's still really nice of a valley, but it would be much more beautiful, much more picturesque with some water in it. Anyways, that's what it is.
Anyway, water or no water, we came here with the car and we wanted to explore the whole valley. We saw many tours being offered in Agadir for visiting the Paradise Valley, but these tours take you above the canyon, while we have been inside the canyon. We chose this way because we wanted it a little bit more adventurous, but if you do it as well, you have to be careful in some parts because it can be quite dangerous.
Collecting trash. So that's it, we're leaving Paradise Valley. We were hiking up to like around where it bends around the corner. That's actually one of the nicest parts of the valley itself. It must have been amazing once there was still water here. Now it's all dry and there's still some ponds that are filled with some old water, but it's all very green and dirty. It's still beautiful, but it must have been amazing once there was still water here. There's so much trash here. Such a shame. She is a good girl and keeps collecting trash.
This bottle was completely empty, and now I'm filling it with anything I find that can fill in.
And then we were ready to depart to Tafraud. If you are going to Tafraud, we recommend you to rent a car, because the most beautiful thing of Tafraud is not the town itself, but all the surroundings. The highway between Agadir and Tafraud, it is amazing. It crosses the Anti-Atlas and it offers beautiful landscapes. And if you have a car, then you can stop anywhere, take pictures, enjoy the sunset. This was definitely one of our highlights in Morocco. Do you see the terraces on the mountains? The moment we entered the Anti-Atlas, we saw them in every single mountain. We had so many questions about these terraces. Who made them? How long they have been there? Why are they in every single mountain? And we never found a concrete answer, but we found several speculations about their existence. Some locals or Berbers told us that the terraces were there for storing water. Others told us they were agricultural terraces. Other people told us these lines are traces of goat shepherds. We still have so many questions, but they will remain unanswered.
Good morning, everybody. We just woke up. It's a good night's sleep. and look at that. Okay, let's have breakfast and then we head off into the mountains. Gorgeous, right? It's just gorgeous.
Tafraout is the biggest town of the Anti-Atlas, and here you can see the heart of the Berber culture. The Berbers are an ethnic group present in North Africa, and they have their own culture and language.
We are back on our way to... Where are we going? We're gonna put it in the subscription, I think, or in the... It's gonna show up somewhere on the screen. We're going back there. We passed it yesterday on our way to Tafraout, but it was a little bit too late to visit it. It looks like one of these castle-like structures they built, but apparently it's just a very well protected old village made from clay. And yeah, the scenery looks completely different than yesterday. Even yesterday evening, like the light was amazing, but you couldn't see any structure in the mountains. While now you have like all these crystal clear structures and all the shadows in the mountains. Amazing. I'm glad we saw both, but I would say it's definitely worthwhile driving here in the sun during sunset or in the late afternoon if you have the choice to do so. Nobody home. Maybe nobody's home. Or maybe the entrance is on the other side. Let's go to the other side.
Yep.
We thought it was closed, but a random guy called from the walls of the village and was like, ah.
So it's a leg day.
It's leg day. Today is leg day. C'est très grand.
Très grand.
C'est bon?
C'est bon, merci.
Merci. And apparently these were like small chambers where they stored all the grain and everything they had to protect it from invasive nomads. And then like the whole city was defended by the villagers. And all these small doors that we saw along the way, they all stored like their goods. And there used to be people living in this village, but now it's just there's a small hostel. And yeah, the reminiscence of these storage rooms. Apparently they are still used by the families, but obviously they don't need protection. And supposedly all of this is around 700 years old. Well, it's very well restored, but at least the guide I read claims that this village was first mentioned 700 years ago, so that's pretty amazing.
And the guy that opened the door was telling us a few more things, but in French. We understood about the half of it.
Maybe. Let's say we understood half of it.
After leaving the Khazar, we were ready for our next stop. But first, we needed something to eat.
We ordered a tea, and he's literally just going into the garden and cutting all the herbs. I think it's mainly mint and some other stuff. And then we're gonna have the tea in this amazing tent. It's actually not so warm, but the sun is really, really strong. We're gonna enjoy our tea in the shade.
After lunch and a Berber tea, we needed a well-deserved nap. Well rested, we are ready for our next sightseeing, the Painted Rocks.
What do we know about these painted rocks?
They were painted by a Belgian artist, and he painted originally in natural colors. But now I think over the years they have been repainting it, so it doesn't look natural anymore. But it looks very pretty. So you have yellow, red, blue, orange, and I see some black somewhere. Yes, and they are actually very huge.
There is no entrance fee, and there is also no public transportation to come here. So if you want to come here, you either need to take a tour or your own transportation.
I think we were fairly lucky the last 2 days with the weather. It seems like there's some bad weather coming in. Look at that. All the clouds are rolling in. Well, let's see. Tomorrow we are off to the next destination, so we got lucky this time. Okay, that's it about the stones. In the evening it looks so much nicer than during the day because of the nice soft light. And now I think it's time for some tagine. What do you say?
Yes, I'm hungry.
Me as well.
And of course, on our way back, we saw beautiful landscape again. On the evening, we walk through Tafraout, which isn't very spectacular, but it has a really nice market. This region of Morocco is not as touristic as the rest of Morocco. What a pity, because it was actually our favorite region in the whole Morocco. And with the visit of the market, we finished our stay in Tafraout.
Merci.
Today we're going to Amtoudi, which is approximately a 4 hours ride from here. And well, supposedly it goes through some scenic mountain landscapes, so let's see what the day brings.
And boy, how scenic was it! In our travel guide, we read that we will pass through some oases, but we didn't expect such a spectacular scenery. The vegetation was so dense that you couldn't see 3 meters into the trees. This was for us the perfect description of paradise. Look at the contrast between green and red. It looks just like a painting.
This is pan berber, and it's actually quite dry, but it's huge. And it will taste really good with oregano, I would think, or butter or something. It was a recommendation, and it's good to take with you or so I think you can put it anywhere. Hit somebody with it. It's good, it's soft.
And after a 4-hour drive, we finally made it to Am2D. So what are we going to do now? Where are we?
We are in Am2D, and there is a Agadir, one of the oldest one and the most southern one in Morocco, and we're gonna visit now in the evening.
Here you can see a little bit a ruin of something that was there.
It's like all sorts of old stuff up there.
And the color of the rocks is awesome. Now we are in an auberge, and this is our small room, which is actually very cute. It has the carpets, this, the 2 beds, place for putting our stuff. It's simple but very, very cute done. And now we will hike there.
Oui.
C'est l'Agadir. C'est bon?
Donnez-moi un terrain et les bonbons.
Vous allez à l'école?
Oui. Ok, ça va te finir.
Je m'appelle Janitza.
Danitza. Et moi?
Christian.
Christian. Christian. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
It's hot.
It's warm. It's hot. It's the first day. It's really actually warm since we arrived in Morocco.
It's nice finally without the pullover.
At least here where we are under us. Well, in her case. And well, we are now at the south end of the Anti-Atlas, and you can definitely tell that it's much. Sorry, I have to also watch my step. You can tell that it's definitely like a change in culture. People are darker, and also it's much warmer.
And they are more chiller, like they talk more to you, they smile more. The women, for example, they have lighter colors and also yellow, orange on their clothes. They smile more, what I think. And also from their traditional clothes, the women, they're not covering right now their mouth or their nose anymore, but they show the whole face. And now we're walking to the Agadir. I think it will take us about 45 minutes. We haven't eaten well the whole day, so we're so very hungry. And then the hotel will wait with dinner for us, which is nice. And we expect to see the sunset from up there.
I have to show you. So this is the valley, like the oasis, and then up there is the ruin of the old Agadir. That's where we're going.
I think now that you are hearing the call to the mosque to pray.
So now here we are in the Agadir, and we're walking around in a very dark place, so we're lighting with the phone. This is a chamber where they store the grains and everything from being stolen by the nomads. Okay, we continue our tour, and here there are like small passages as well as super tiny doors. Chris, put yourself next to it. Yes, so very tiny doors for the grain. He was mentioning bread, what vegetables, anything they could have and harvest. They would like to hide it in here. Okay, it is very light and the light is amazing. It is around 4 o'clock? 10 past 5, yes.
How is it?
Nice.
It's quite impressive, I think.
It's really impressive.
It's really impressive, I think.
Absolutely big. You can imagine that from here they can see anything that is coming. On foot, donkey, camel, anything you can see from here. For sure.
There are some engravings in the rock here. Ancient engraving, which the guy is explaining to you. And look at these terraces. Look at these rooftops. And they use them to collect water, if I understood his French correctly. And it looks absolutely amazing in the evening light.
This was there for collecting water for the animals and for providing feeding places. Some of these areas were used as a family storage units, and others were used for collecting pergaments as well as for storing honeycombs. This was our very cute guide, and he loved to take pictures of us. Moroccans don't like to be photographed, but our cute guide, he actually liked pictures. And with the visit of Amtoudis Agadir, we finished our day. Now it was time for us to have dinner. Thanks for watching!
If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below.
And leave us a comment. We would like to hear your opinions and thoughts.